Ladies and gentlemen and other, welcome back to Finding Faith in Funny. My name is Chase. This is my podcast. Thank you for listening. If this is your first time listening, thank you. If you're a return listener, also thank you. I hope you keep coming back. Hopefully you've enjoyed the conversations. I've enjoyed the conversations, and I am looking forward to future conversations. If you have something that you'd like to relate and talk about on Finding Faith in Funny, or just send an email or a story. We have an email address, faithinfunny@gmail.com, which, yes, we do have an email address. And I need to talk about it more because it's an email address without any emails. So if you know someone who has a story they want to tell, anonymous or not, please pass along faithinfunny@gmail.com so we can interact more with people who are listening. Let me tell you a story to begin today's episode. Back in 2022, I was doing comedy a lot, about 4 shows a month, just here in the St. George area. I was writing a lot, getting on stage a lot, and I got an opportunity to headline what was then called Blues Cats here in town. And it was April of 2022, and a few days before the show, I got a call from a good friend named Jody Wright, who would help us, with ticket sales and stuff like that. And he said that he knew of someone who wanted to try and do stand-up comedy. Now, in a town like this, yes, we now have open mics consistently. And back then we did too, but I'm willing, if I have it in my power, to give someone stage time if they've never been on stage before, because I feel like this is something everyone should try at least once. I know most people never will, and maybe that's for the best. But I told him to give my number and pass along my information. If they wanted to have a chance on stage, I'd be happy to put them on stage for 5 minutes. I got a phone call, and I didn't recognize the number. I answered it, and on the other line was this old woman. And she said she had done an open mic at Las Vegas at Wise Guys, but she wanted a chance to do stand-up comedy. And I thought, uh-oh, I'm fine giving whoever they want a shot, but is giving an 82-year-old woman a chance to do stand-up comedy at one of the 2 bars we had in town at that time, is that going to be the best fit for her? But nonetheless, I thought, why not? She's 82. If it goes bad, fine. If it goes great, fine. I thought, let's give her a chance. So we set it up. And to my surprise, this woman, at 82 years old, in April of 2022, went up for 7 minutes and destroyed a bar crowd. I don't know what you know about stand-up comedy, but doing well at a bar show is hard. Crushing at a bar show is almost impossible. And this sweet little Canadian woman nailed it. And I've just been happy to work with her ever since. We've worked several times together. She has gone on to win the Electric Comedy Night multiple times. She was a finalist at Dixie's Got Talent. She's been a finalist at Kayenta's Got Talent. She performs at the Casablanca Hotel in Mesquite. She's doing 40 minutes at an event up in Cedar City soon. 40 minutes for a woman who is now pushing 86 years old. Why am I telling you this? Because, today, our guest, sort of, is Eva Fry. It's this woman. Now, the unique thing about Eva is she can't hear very well, so doing an actual interview with her could get a little bit difficult. So, in talking with Eva, we decided that I would send her the questions I was going to ask her. She would send me the answers back, and then I could read the answers to you on there. However, because I don't want you just, hearing me read Eva's answers, in between each question, I will play a bit that Eva has done with Eva's permission, so you get the feel for how Eva is as a person, who she is on stage, and this is going to be a unique episode. But without further ado, let's get into it, sort of, with my guest, sort of, Eva Fry.
Well, that was a good introduction. Thank you. Yes, I'm Eva Fry. I just realized how blessed I was. I can barely hear or see, but thankfully I can still drive.
So again, before I start these questions, thank you to Eva for being willing to do this and for your permission for me to play the clips you hear. By the way, like that one you just heard, that was all recorded in January of 2023 at a big show we did at the Electric Theater, and she nailed it. So, question 1 for Eva Fry. The question I asked was, did you start comedy for the fame, the money, or finally just to be able to say the things out loud that people used to pretend they didn't hear anyway? Eva's answer was, quote, I've always liked to laugh and make others laugh, but I started at 82 years old because I lost my hearing and comedy is a one-way conversation.
At 83, I refused to stay home, so I went to the mall, and this pretty girl walked toward me, and on her t-shirt it said, yes. So I went to her and said 36C. I've got to admit, I've thought of plastic surgery, but I have bad luck. I just know if I got implants, they'd leak. I'd end up with fat ankles.
Question number 2 for Eva. I asked her, do you feel like starting comedy later in life is an advantage because you've already outlived your hecklers? To which she replied, I hope so, but I definitely feel like it's an advantage because I have such a long history.
Okay. My grandson and I were visiting an old friend, and he was dying. He was older. And he said, I smell cinnamon buns. And to my grandson, he said, go downstairs and get me a cinnamon bun. Well, my grandson went downstairs, came up, no cinnamon bun. The old man said, did you eat my cinnamon bun? He said, oh, no, sir. Your wife said, they're for the funeral.
Question number 3 that I asked Eva Fry, what is more scary, going to your first open mic or when your doctor comes in the room and says, we need to run a few more tests? Eva answered, the first open mic is scarier, but at least then I did know what the shaking in my shoes was.
I said to my husband, honey, if I died, because you wonder about the future, if I died and you remarried, would you live in our house with her? He said, well, I guess so, it's paid for. Then what about my golf clubs? Would you let her use my golf clubs? He said, of course not, dear. She's left-handed. So I went to a portrait artist and I said, I want you to paint a picture of me with a big diamond bracelet, a big diamond necklace, and a huge diamond ring. He said, you're not wearing any of those things. I said, I know. This is a gift for my husband. I know when I die, he's going to remarry, and I want to drive her crazy looking for the jewelry.
Question number 4. I feel like I'm doing Letterman's top 10 list. Number 4. Okay. Has getting older made life funnier or just more honest? And Eva responded, getting older has made life much more fun, and I am always looking for the funny. That's a great outlook on life. This is part of the reason I wanted to have Eva on, is because she has such a good outlook on life, and anyone who's lived to be 86 is going to have, some good life advice. Some bad life advice too, but some good life advice nonetheless.
He forgot my birthday. I said, in the morning, in this driveway, I want to see a gift from you that goes from 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. I got up. There was my gift. A bathroom scale.
Question number 5 that I asked Eva Fry. Do you think humor has helped you make sense of life or just survive it? And her response was, comedy has definitely made life much more exciting and helped me survive it. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, or a lot of people know, but about a year ago, Eva actually suffered a stroke. And despite whatever setbacks that might have caused, she's been on the stage several times since, and she just keeps plugging away.
I got stopped by a police officer who said, "Lady, get out of the car." He said, "You're staggering." I said, "Thank you, officer. You're not bad looking yourself." He said, "Your eyes look glassy. Have you been drinking?" I said, "No, I haven't been drinking." "Your eyes look glazed. Have you been eating donuts?"
Question number 6. What would you say to someone who thinks that it's too late for them? And that, when I ask that, I'm talking about for anything. People get it in their mind that it's too late for them to accomplish something or anything like that. And Eva's answer is perfect. She says, it's only too late if you believe it is, because it is never too late. You think about Eva Fry starting stand-up comedy. Starting stand-up comedy is scary no matter what age you are, and she did it at 82. What's your excuse for not starting whatever it is you've thought about starting several times again? You might not even make it to 82, so you might as well start today.
Theory. I love theory because my husband yells at her, says she's making wrong directions. It's so fun to watch him argue with another woman. And the best part is when she tells him where to go. Okay, where's my cheat sheet again? My mind just went to Hawaii without me. Okay, so now I'm 83. People are a little nervous traveling with me. In fact, hold on. In fact, yesterday Siri yelled at me. She said, "In 500 feet, stop and let me out."
Question number 7. Excuse me. When people leave your shows, what do you hope that they feel? And Eva says, I hope that they are happy. I hope they had a fun break from life and feel more positive and believe in themselves a little bit more, because I am now 86 and maybe I gave them hope. If you have any critiques about Eva, you're a bad person, by the way.
I said to my husband, "The car's not running." He said, "What's wrong with the car?" "There's water in the carburetor." You don't even know what a carburetor is. Where's the car? In the lake.
Question number 8. We're getting there. What evidence do you see that God has a sense of humor? And she says, God has a sense of humor. When he sent us all down here and then told us to endure to the end, I believe he gave us laughter and humor to be able to help endure that. That's what I've been saying since day one of this podcast. I love that. No, I did not pay her to say that. She just said it, which also proves the point that mentally I also might be 86.
Last year, for our anniversary, he said, "What do you want to do for your birthday, for our birthday?" I said, "I like to do something, go somewhere that I haven't done for a long time." He said, "How about cooking in the kitchen?" I don't cook, but for him. So I'm cooking away in the kitchen, and I hear this loud noise. I said, "Honey, could I have a little peace and quiet in here?" So he got up and took the battery out of the smoke detector.
Question number 9. We've got 2 more to go here. Question number 9. Why is it important for people to laugh? And she says, because life is hard for all of us. Laughter is like medicine. A little laugh will do you good.
Everywhere we go, he holds my hand. He knows if he lets go, I go shopping. So we went to Walmart. He grabbed the cart. He let go. I went shopping. He's pushing that cart through Walmart, bangs into another man's cart. He says, "I'm sorry, I'm looking for my wife." The other man says, me too. My husband says, what's she look like? He says, she's young, she's tall, she's got long blonde hair, and she's beautiful. The other man says, and your wife?
What did you say?
My husband says, forget my wife, let's find your wife.
And question number 10, the last question I did ask Eva Fry. To anyone listening who is struggling with life, as an 86-year-old comedian, what is your life advice? And she says, my life advice is to keep going. Do the best you can, discover your gifts and talents, develop them, and use them to help others. Learn to love yourself and others, have faith, and as God said, be of good cheer. I have nothing more to add on to that answer. That was perfect.
I still like to walk on the beach, but we can only stay half an hour. It's only how long we can hold our stomachs in, but then we put our backs out. But something wonderful happened at the beach. My husband found a lamp. He picked up the lamp and he rubbed the sand off, and a genie jumped out. And she said to him, I can grant you one wish. He said, to tell you the truth, I've always wanted a woman 30 years younger than me. She said, I can do that. And poof, she made him 120. And I just love being that younger woman.
My wife is 42, I am 36. And if anything in our marriage goes wrong, her next husband is probably 27. My next wife is Eva. Apparently I have a type. And she probably has good credit. So. Big thanks to Eva Fry, 1, for answering the questions, 2, for being willing to let me play audio from the show we did back in 2023. Eva is amazing. To quote Louis C.K., if you're older, you're just smarter. You have more wisdom. Even if you're wrong, your wrongness is based and rooted in more information. I don't think anything Eva said or did was wrong. I just admire her. If you're looking to go see her at any point, please follow, dynamicwitcomedy.com or electriccomedy.com, or just Google Eva Fry comedian in St. George. You'll find her. She's all over the place. And at 86 years old, she's working as hard, if not harder, than most comedians in the area. And there's just nothing but good things to say about Eva Fry. Coming up, future episodes, we've got plenty more conversations and interviews to record. And just thank you. I appreciate anyone listening. For any feedback or stories or anything, again, I know I said it a lot in the beginning of the episode. Please reach out. faithinfunny@gmail.com. I would love to interact with you by whatever means necessary. If you wish to donate to the show to help with costs of equipment and other aspects of producing a show, also please reach out, fightingfaithandfunny@gmail.com. I will inform you of how to do so. I appreciate you listening. We will talk to you next Monday with another guest.